everyone. So the next topic under intellectual property rights we have is trademark law. Now, what is the need for legal protection? So, in order to fulfill their distinguishing function for consumers who wish to make their choice between different goods of the same kind in the market, trademarks must be legally protected. Otherwise, competitors could use identical signs for the same or similar goods or signs so similar that the consumer would be confused as to the origin of the goods. A deceived consumer may often not realize that the article that he has purchased is not of the origin indicated by the trademark and may tend to hold the owner of the genuine trademark responsible if the goods do not meet the standards to which he is accustomed. However, even if the consumer eventually realizes that he has been led to buy the wrong product by the trademark, which is confusingly similar to the one used from the product that he intended to buy, it would be difficult for him to take action against the infringer of the genuine trademark. It is therefore recognized in practically everywhere that the owner of the protected trademark must have the right to prevent competitors from using identical or confusingly similar trademark for goods identical or similar to those for which he uses his own trademark. This is the so-called exclusive right of the proprietor of the trademark. So a trademark can be protected on the basis of either use or registration. Both approaches have developed historically, but today trademark protection systems generally combine both elements. The Paris Convention for the Protection of Industrial Property of March 20, 1893, that is the Paris Convention, places contracting countries under the obligation to provide for a trademark register. Over 100 states have adhered to the Paris Convention. Nearly all countries all over the world today provide for a trademark register, and full trademark protection is properly secured only by registration. So use does still play an important role, however. First of all, in countries that have traditionally based trademark protection on use, the registration of a trademark merely confirms the trademark right that has been acquired by use. Consequently, the first user has priority in a trademark dispute, not the one who first registered the trademark. This approach has been chosen by United States of America, the Philippines, Indonesia, and all countries with system of law on the traditional British model, Hong Kong, India, Singapore, etc. Furthermore, use has an important bearing on many other aspects of the registration procedure and also on the defense of the registered trade. These aspects will be dealt with in detail later on. So few countries have no trademark registration at all, examples being Bhutan and the Maldives. This publication is based on the assumption that a trademark register exists in the countries of the participants and concentrates on questions of trademark registration and the rights which are deriving from such registration. Now there are various functions of trademark. So we have seen that the origin indicating and or distinguishing function of the trademark is the basis for its legal protection. But the trademark does of course have other functions. As already mentioned, consumers can usually rely on the consistent quality of the goods offered under the mark. This is sometimes referred to as the quality function or the guarantee function. Then again, its owner uses the trademark to communicate with the consumer, not only through the goods bearing the mark but also in advertising. One can describe these possibilities as the advertising function of the trademark. Finally, the trademark can, by its acquired reputation, become a valuable piece of property for the owner, allowing him to license or franchisee it or to make other commercial use of it. Thus, the trademark can have important economic functions, which, however, are not normally protected by trademark law. They depend mainly on the use made by the trademark by its owner. This is especially true of a quality function. If the consumer is deceived as to the quality of the product, he may have to resort to an action which is based on the unfair competition or on the specific consumer protection legislation. As trademark law offers him no remedy. His best weapon against a trademark owner whose product offered under the trademark has disappointed him is to refuse to buy that product again. So in modern trade, customers are confronted not only with the vast choice of goods of online, but also with the increasing variety of services which tend more and more to be offered on a national and even international scale. There is therefore also a need for signs that enable the customers to distinguish between the different services such as insurance companies, car rental firms, airlines, etc. These signs are called the service marks and they fulfill essentially the same origin which is indicating and distinguishing function for services as trademark do for goods. It is widely recognized that there is need for protection of service mark as there is for trademark, and the modern trademark laws give protection to the marks for services in the same way as to the marks that identify goods. The approach adopted by the course board is first to develop a digital system of registration and protection of trademarks, that is, the marks used for goods and then to deal with service marks. This approach is being taken for two practical reasons. While trademarks can be registered practically everywhere, a number of countries yet do not have any registration. Even the service marks serve basically the same purpose as trademarks. There are certain practical differences in the protection of service marks, which can more easily be illustrated by comparison with the system of trademark protection. We will continue this in the next lecture. Thank you very much.